As we start each one of our days, whether you go to work, go to school, stay home, no 2 days are exactly the same. You might do the same thing day in and day out, but you don't do it the same way day in and day out.
Amen.
You'll read something different. You'll wake up at a different time. You do things in a different order. So every day is considered, or should be considered, a special day. So that's what our Moments of Inspiration is on this morning. A special day. The most important part about Christmas is the first 6 letters. At Christmas, consider not so much the gift of a friend, but the friendship of a giver.
Oh, Jesus, yes.
The best news the world ever had came from a graveyard in Jerusalem. Jesus is alive.
Oh, Jesus, yes.
Joseph's tomb was not a tomb at all. It was just a stopping place for Christ on his way to heaven.
Wow.
The resurrection of Christ in the past gives the believers a bright hope for the future. Christ's resurrection brightens the tomb of every true believer. You can never truly enjoy Christmas until you can look up into the Father's face and tell him you received his Christmas gift.
Jesus.
Christ's resurrection is the bud of promise. Our resurrection is the flower of fulfillment. And to take with you this week, to help you with your special days, Christmas is based on an exchange of gifts. The gift of man, God to man, his unspeakable gift of his Son, and the gift of man to God when we present our bodies a living sacrifice.
Amen.
A special day. Let me ask you a question. How do you explain the meaning of Christmas in just a few words? The best way I know is this. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son,
Yes.
that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
Yes.
No one can undo what God has done. No one could give a greater gift than God has already given.
Amen.
I would like for us to consider the true meaning of Christmas this morning. What it should mean to each and every one of us. Christmas means a lot of things to a lot of people. To some, it's a time of shopping and spending, a time of drinking and carousing, a time of traveling and entertainment. But what is the real meaning of Christmas? What message should it convey to each and every one of us? As Christians, Christmas should be first a time of remembering. Remembering the great love that God has for each and every one of us. He loves us so much that he spared not even his Son that we might be saved. Remembering the uniqueness of his life, his teaching, his miracles, his prophecies, his death and his resurrection. Remembering all those humble but great people surrounding the first Christmas. People like Joseph and Mary, Zacharias and Elizabeth, Anna, Solomon, the shepherds, the wise men, and so many more. Second, Christmas is a time of loving. People make a special effort to be kinder, to be a little more considerate of others, and a little more generous during the Christmas season. They get involved in such things as giving to those less fortunate, toys for the needy, and meals for those who are hungry. It's a time for reaching out to others with love and concern. For God so loved the world, let us never forget that. In all our preaching, teaching, evangelizing, and sharing His Word, let's always remember that the motivation for all of this is the love of God for lost sinners.
Amen.
He really cares about us, so we should care as He cares. We should love as He loves. It's a time of giving. For God so loved the world that He gave. Love cannot look with indifference on the hungry, the sick, the lonely, and lost souls of this world. Love must give. God gave all He could give. He gave His only begotten Son. This gift was freely given, lovingly given, graciously given to all of us who were undeserved sinners.
Yes, yes.
Christ shared our human nature that we might receive His divine nature.
Amen.
Day by day, those who receive Him are being transformed into His image until we all come into the full stature of the perfected child of God, washed in the blood of the Lamb. It's a time of forgiving. God was willing to forgive us. He was willing to show mercy to a sinful, lost, and dying world. Do we possess His forgiving spirit? A true believer living is for God 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Or is our spirit a judgmental one that looks down upon others? Peter taught in Ephesians 5 and 8 when he talked about walking as quote unquote children of light. He was referring only to the way, he was not only referring to the way we behave in church on Sundays, when we are filled with the Spirit, when we amplify compassion, kindness, humility, forgiveness, thankfulness, and love all the time. The Christian life is not for Sunday only. It's an all day, all the time way of life. Do others know from how we act at home, at work, at play, that we have Jesus in our heart and live for Him each day? Being all out for Christ means living for Him at all times, in all places. So every day should be a special day.
Amen.
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 We thank the Lord for His word. Pray that you would take it to heart. That as He gives you the breath of life each day, that you would make it a special day just for Him. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
And now we'll be blessed with one more musical selection, and then we will have a word from our pastor. Pray that all hearts and minds open to receive what thus saith the Lord this morning.